I'm here with Laura Watson, and Laura is a former client of Northeast Assisted Fertility Group, and she had two lovely children using our egg donors. And she has a new venture called Laura's Positive Fertility Coaching. So, Laura, why don't you describe who you are and what you offer women and men experiencing the infertility journey?
Thank you, Kathy. As you mentioned, I am a former client, so I have a lot of personal experience with infertility, struggling to conceive, going through all of the traditional um, therapies that are common to reproductive technology, and then eventually using an egg donor to conceive our children. And so it's always been important to me to share our story and to help other women, other families who are struggling to conceive. And I've been working with other women for years now who have reached out to me. They've read my story online, on social media and blog posts, and they reach out for advice and just general support. So I've been coaching people through their experiences for a while now, and then really wanted to look at some options on how I might be able to increase my reach, and was met a few women who are fertility coaches and decided to pursue that. Mm-hmm. So I am now a certified fertility coach, where I've learned so much more outside of my own experience, which is incredibly helpful. Obviously, everyone's experience is so different. And I'm learning more every day about different diagnoses, different types of protocols, different therapies, and really excited to help more people on their journey to have a family. I help people who are just in general struggling, trying to conceive. And so maybe they're just in the beginning, they're learning how to track their cycle. They're learning about their own bodies and what might be their challenges. I help people who are going through IVF to be a support person through that. It can be so complicated and a lot of information is thrown at you, and it can be so emotional that it's incredibly helpful and necessary for someone to have a person that they can turn to when they are confused about instructions or just feeling down about the process. And then, of course, I'm excited to help people that are pursuing donor egg, because that is so close to my heart. It's how we built our family. And so I am open to helping anyone who can really use support in this area and connects with my services. My plan is to offer a mind-body approach to starting a family. And so a lot of people will need intervention. Maybe that's IVF or medicated cycles or donor egg or sperm donor. But there's another piece to it where we really want to take care of our general well-being. And so helping people through that part as well, and putting it all together so the process can be less complicated, less stressful, and more joyful. It should be exciting. You're building a family, and I want to help people find a more joyful path to doing that.
So it's a very good outlet for someone who's going through this. They don't want to talk about it with their coworkers, or their friends may be just sick of it and or just don't understand what's really
or don't
involved.
Know what to say.
Yeah.
Maybe their friends are helpful.
Yeah.
And we've all heard this before. I know anyone watching this who has struggled with infertility has heard someone, when you're talking to them about your experience, they say, well, you know what? You should talk to my friend, or you should talk to my cousin.
Or go get acupuncture. Oh, just relax and you'll get, it'll
right,
work.
Exactly.
You don't use relax. You just, Yeah,
Right.
it's a way just to let the steam off with someone who
Right.
really understands.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
people want to be helpful. They want
Hmm.
to say the right thing.
Hmm.
Um, but I really think there's a lot of benefit in speaking to someone who has the knowledge and has been there personally. And so that's how I can be really helpful to someone and showing them, so giving them some tools, because that's what you need. You
Hmm.
need to not feel so helpless, to not feel so isolated. Infertility, struggling to conceive is different for everybody. We all
Right.
have a different diagnosis. We all have different responses to therapies. It looks different for everyone. So just having the tools to make it less stressful can go so far. I would certainly never tell anyone to just relax, but
Right.
if you have the right tools to have a more calm process and feel more confident going into it, it can be very, very powerful.
Mhm. And this isn't something you're going to get from your doctor, or the IVF nurses necessarily. They're very busy doing their jobs, and this aspect of it, they kind of leave you on your own.
It,
Uh,
it
yeah.
and that's going to be specific to different clinics and
Right.
how the busier the
Even though
clinics,
they
it's
have
probably
social
true.
workers there, it's
Sure.
yeah.
But this is really a supplement to that.
Hmm. Hmm.
Um, and one thing that I coach a lot of women through is teaching them how to work with their clinic,
Hmm.
teaching them how to advocate for themselves
Right.
and feel confident in making that phone call, where I don't think that I understand the instructions that I were just given, because the instructions that you're given for medication or your next visit or your next cycle, that's really important. So to
Hmm.
arm women with the confidence to make that phone call, like I need someone to go over this with me again.
Hmm.
Your nurse wants you to succeed, your doctor
Right.
wants you to succeed. So that's something that I've coached women through before all the time. I had one client in particular who I would make her write down everything that the nurse said and then come back to me,
Hmm.
and we would go over anything that wasn't crystal clear. And then I would often have her write down the questions that she had to go back to her nurse with. Like,
Hmm.
that phone call comes in after a monitoring appointment, or where you're waiting for your next instructions. And that phone call comes in and you're so excited to pick up the phone that you forget, if you're overwhelmed, you forget to ask questions.
Right.
You don't even realize if whether or not you are taking in all of your
Yeah.
instructions.
Yeah. Blah, 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 and like, and you're like, and
You're
then
like,
you hang up the
okay,
phone, like, what?
okay. And then you hang up and you're like, oh gosh, I'm not
Yeah.
sure that I really understood all of that. So
Right. Right.
somebody that you can call, talk to, someone that you can have these sessions with, where you can let it all out, talk
Hmm.
about everything that's on your mind, that's creating a stressful environment for you. And then my job is to give them these strategies and tools to get through this in a more positive way. And I can also help with other strategies, what with nutrition, or with talking to them about what might be useful for them. Should they pursue acupuncture? Should they pursue massage? Should
Hmm.
they creative outlets, things like that. So I've just really accumulated a lot of knowledge and resources over the years, where I think that I have a lot to share. And I just want to make people feel more joyful, lighter about this process, which in turn is going to make them feel more in control, feel more confident, feel more positive. And like I said, it's just incredibly powerful. And I do believe these are all tools that they need at the end of the day to get pregnant, to have their
Hmm.
family.
So tell our viewers where they can reach you, and I'll put all the links in the
Excellent.
notes as well.
So my website is positivefertilitycoaching.com. And on the website, you'll find all sorts of information about the services that I offer, how to connect with me, as well as content that might be helpful to them in their journey. And then on Instagram, I'm positive.fertility. And there's a ton of great content on there as well. And I'm adding to it every day and really building that up, and want that to be another resource for women and families who are struggling to conceive and looking for tips and outlet, and just someone who really understands what they're going through.
Okay. Well, thanks so much, Laura. I think it's a great service you offer, and I know you're going to help a lot of people.
Thank you so much for having me, Kathy.
Thank you.